Laurel. I need y'all to really love this Laurel situation because it's my middle name. It's not an alter ego. I did not make this up. If anything, KJ was the alter ego, and I fooled all the Christians. No, I'm just playing. Take that out. So take that out.
Not you fooled
I
all
fooled all the Christians. I got the whole world calling me KJ, even though those are my initials. But I got some ideas, and I just want to talk about my ideas on camera with one of my homies. Jacinta is here. Say hello, Jacinta.
Hey.
And we're just gonna kind of like hash it out. We're gonna talk it out. Everybody does like behind the scenes, and they kind of talk about what they're doing and why they're doing it. Here's another thing too, as I am branding, guys, for the business people who like to watch me and slide in my DMs and tell me how I should not be using social media to put my feelings. Let me tell you something. Send me the social media rule book, and I'm still gonna break it. I'm gonna say what I want to say. I'm gonna do what I want to do. It has a lot to do with my brand, because I feel like we do hide behind filters. I do feel like we hide behind, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not telling people the whole truth. Like, people be like, I get it all the time. Oh, there she goes telling all her business again. There she go, da 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 da. Oh, she just doing too much. You saying too much on social media. Well, so
Somebody need to say it.
and then I feel like, so if I want to tell my business on social media, so tell me how you feel, because I know you be like, what? Because sometimes I'm telling you, and then my friends also know too, if I could just be completely honest, if we just be honest.
Gosh, here we go.
If I could just be honest. Every time I come to Soap Studios, I be honest.
You get free?
I get free. Soap has a deliverance, man. No, but I feel like, okay, let me talk about it. Okay, why do I tell my feelings or talk about my stuff on social media like that? One, because I can. Two, they my thumbs. Three, I be trying to figure out, no, I'm saying my real reasons. Three, I really wonder if other people think like I think.
Yeah.
I wonder if my thoughts are so left field or just so like as if I'm just some, is the word anomaly? You know what I mean? Like as if nobody else understands, when truth be told, some of my most telling posts get the most response. You get what I'm saying?
I think when you're being the most vulnerable and you're telling your truth, it's something, sometimes it's what people want to say, but they just too scared to say it. So you have I don't want to say the balls, but like you
say
just
what you want to say on my podcast.
but I just say like you just really have that thing about you where it's like, okay, this is my truth. I'm gonna live in it, and somebody else, me telling what I've been through can help somebody else.
It could, and I also feel like that's really good because we should care about other people.
But you don't care.
I'm just trying, not saying that I don't care about helping other people, but I think because I have been for the last couple of years, and you know that only people close to me know this. I've been on this like self-reflection journey, right? Of like who I am, what I stand for, because even to your case, like when we met, I don't know if we want to talk about that on camera. That is a lot. That was on me though. That's not me. That's me this time, not you. Usually y'all get on here and go crazy, but I think people have a perception of me. You see what I'm saying? And I walk into different situations absolutely not knowing what the perception is, and then when they meet me, you can attest, they be like, oh, she real cool. I'd be offended, because I'd be like, well, what did I do before now that made me feel like I wasn't?
Well, yeah, when I first met you, I was just like, because I got on the phone with Eb, I was like, who is this over here in this corner asking me? I mean, I said, she behind these glasses talking to me. Why aren't you? I said, well,
first of all, just to give y'all a little bit of context.
You was really aggressive that day.
But I felt like I had already known you. That'd be my problem. So I'll be talking to people. Like I don't meet strangers and my friends. Hey, you so friendly. You talking to everybody. I had already seen you at a church.
So that meant we knew each other.
So we was friends. And then you was up singing like with somebody that I knew. So then I felt like, okay, we all on the same page. Like, it's cool, whatever. Now, the time that we met and we spoke, to my defense, I was out of my mind.
Okay, I remember that.
Okay.
You was.
Don't ask me no questions, but I was out of my mind.
I remember.
But I came to party for my baby's birthday. You get what I'm saying? And I think what I asked you, like, are you singing praise and worship or something?
No, the question was asked, did I sing that day? And I said, no, I'm not singing anymore. And you said, why not?
So I had
And-
to add. So I had a nasty attitude.
And then I was like, first I was like, okay, you not even in this conversation. Like, I don't even know who you are.
I did butt myself in the conversation. I don't have no bedside manners. Okay.
And then it was like aggressive the way you came at me. I'm like, why does it matter whether, to me in my mind, I'm thinking, why does it matter to you whether or not I stop singing? But then when I realized who you was, I was like, okay, I get it.
But I
I
guess
have sang with this woman before.
Thank you.
I didn't recognize you. And to my defense, I didn't have my contacts at the time. My vision was a little off.
And
I didn't recognize you.
I was really out my body that day. We just be honest.
I
That's
think
all
we
I
both
want to share. Yeah, I was really out my
was
body.
on the opposite sides of the bed that day.
Yes, literally healing from shingles.
Yeah.
That's why my glasses was so big, covered my whole face. And I'm not being funny. It just doesn't. You have to explain to me why you don't want to give your voice to the Lord. I don't understand that. Like, it just doesn't. No, seriously, like in my mind, especially people who are able to do it, what is your real reason why you're not singing? You get what I'm saying? Like, I do that to anybody. I do it to any and everybody. Like a lot of people, even a little girl that I hate to call her a little girl, but baby girl that sang at our 5th Sunday fellowship. I met her. I stole her from a church. When I went out to Groveland. No, for real. I was singing. She was doing all these runs and stuff behind me. Well, why you not leading the songs? Oh, no, I don't do that. Oh, I bet you will. What you doing on December 29th? Because
you got him.
You gonna lead a song this day. Got him. Like, I don't know. I just feel like if you have the desire, let's put it like that. And a lot of people have the desire. They just don't have that foot pushed in the back of them to make them do their thing. So I don't know. Anyway, the point is y'all gonna get to meet me as well. I have very close friends who know me in a lot of different ways. So this podcast, honestly, is very telling, to be completely honest. I know my son is looking like, you have lost your everlasting mind. Nobody needs to know who you really are. But I'm a vibe, okay? Speaking of vibes, Soap do the editing. We are about to... I got this, I want to talk about this with you. I got this amazing word spoken over my life, which... Oh my God, it was amazing. If I'd be completely honest, it's not the first time somebody's ever spoken over my life, but it's the first time that I've had it like recorded. I feel like that I could go back and hear what somebody had to say. Honestly, I'm a Baptist baby, so I didn't really grow up under people prophesying or speaking in tongues or anything of that nature. So like when it first happened to me, I was in college. My homie, Corey Hambrick, I keep bringing him up all the time. I got to call him in Atlanta. And he was preaching, right? We 18. And I'm like, why does he want to be a preacher so bad? Like, we're in college, like, let's have a good time. But anyway, I wanted to support him. And he goes prophesying like through the auditorium. And I stood up like, oh, I'm finna hit Jit. Like, why is he telling people business? Like, I don't know nothing about this for real. Oh, it was bad. I stood up like, hey, fam. Why you telling people business? Microphone like that. That ain't God. Hello? I was like, Corey.
Oh, man.
Corey, what are you doing? Like, what are you? Oh, no. Hey, this ain't church. What are you doing?
Oh,
like,
wow.
Literally. But anyway, so I never really understood. I had to learn about being prophetic. I had to learn, we'll go on that to another episode because I can literally hear my pastor. Well, what does it mean to be prophetic? Why don't you tell them? No. Because that's not what I'm talking about. But the point is, I had to learn about that environment. So anyway, here recently, I'm asked to go sing at a church in Tampa. One of my homies out of Cleveland, he said, I just need you to lead worship. I said, okay, boom. And literally, like, I had to ask my mama for money to even get there because I was literally in between blessings. And so when he said the things that he said, it was just major confirmation. And I was in a place where I could really receive it. You get what I'm saying? And hear what he said. And so he was like, when I see you, though, he was like, I see this big word, vibe. And I sat down in my seat because my friends know, and even other people might know, I've been trying to do this thing in hookah lounges, and I've been trying to I don't want to say make my way, but I've been trying to spread my idea, right, for it to be accepted in all of these places. Because again, what I see myself doing is not what I've been doing on Sunday mornings. Yeah. You see what I mean? Like, and I love leading worship. Don't ever get it twisted. That's where I get all my superpowers from. However, there are some other songs I want to sing, and there's some more people that I want to meet, and I want to do it in a more creative way. So all that to say is I want to launch this thing called Church Baby Vibes. Okay, let's talk it out. You ready? Want to hear it?
I'm listening.
When I tell y'all Jacinta be over me, okay? I call her in the middle of the night. I call her early in the morning. I'm like, Jacinta, you want to hear this? She be like, okay. She never says no, but, she's there. So I want to do this thing called Church Baby Vibes. And all it is creating a safe space for church babies. When I say church babies, I'm talking about people who were raised in all denominations, okay? Kojic, Pentecostal, Apostolic, Holiness, Church of God in Christ, Baptist, Pentecostal. I don't want to leave nobody out because we have all of our denominations, right? But the denominator, I've been called to preach. It's time to do it. It's time to do it. Different denominations, but the same denominator is supposed to be Jesus the Christ,
Yeah.
right? And so we have all of these things and all of these norms that we have bought into, but all of them are dysfunctional. Every last one. There is not one denomination that does not have some type of contradiction, I would even say, or any type of silent behind the scenes situations that's going on. Like, people get so mad, especially the people who raised me. But the first time I seen the flask was from the trustees.
Yeah.
The first time I seen cigarette smoking was
the
deacons.
on the back and side of the church.
You better know
back
it.
side of the church.
The first time I even heard about adultery, I don't want to put nobody's business out
the
there,
pastors.
but it was some pastors sleeping with my aunties. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
right.
So it's kind of like we do all these things and we raise these people with this, don't get it twisted, a standard, but there are still some things in those standards that we were raised with that just ain't right. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we never have a place where we can have that conversation without it being judgmental.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to do with Church Baby Vibes too is honestly let people talk and let people be. I do not have to agree with you 100% just to be respectful. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to. We can interpret the scripture 15 different ways, but that doesn't mean just because the way you view it and perceive it is different from mine that now I can be like, you know what? Get out of here. I don't want nothing to do with you. I think that's another thing I really want to touch on, especially when it comes to church hurt.
That's a big
When
topic.
I tell y'all I didn't know what I was going to talk about when I came in here, but this Soap Studios gets
that's a topic.
But I want to dig and dive and deliver. This is good, Soap. Can you please send me this? I want to dig, I want to dive, and I really want to get people delivered from being able to have a real conversation. You get what I'm saying about what really happened? Because when you really think about church hurt, and I just want to bring it up just a little bit, you're talking about the letdown you had from that leader. That's what you're talking about. You're talking about the disappointment. You're talking about how you got close and you started serving and you put your life and your time, your gifts, your talent into a place that then turned around and was like, oh, we don't need you no more.
Yeah.
For whatever the reasons may be. Some was your call. Some was just jealousy. You know what I'm saying? Some is, honestly, it's miscommunication on both hands. But it's like we never give people that space to talk that out. And then we just see all these hurt people, right? And then we have all these, just the word that comes to my mind, I feel like spiritual vagabonds.
Whoa. Yeah. But yeah, that's good.
That's happening and going to all these different places and all these different ministries. And nobody's really dealing with the hurt. And nobody's dealing with.
And then all you got is a bunch of church hoppers. Just hopping from one church to the other, looking for validation and acceptance.
Facts.
You know, and it shouldn't be that way in the house of God. It really shouldn't be. But unfortunately, because people get into self and not into God, that's where the hurt comes from, because you want people to please you as the pastor, or you as the minister of music, or you as the head, you know, the deacon or whatever. You want to be pleased instead of letting God be pleased. And speaking of that, like, Ty Tribbers was just talking about that. He said that's why he shut down like all of his cameras and stuff in his service. He don't do live stream. He don't do that. He said because it got to a point where people was coming in with their own agendas instead of doing God's agenda. He was like, so I had to shut everything down. He said, so no, I didn't lose my church. Everybody wants to say I didn't lose my church. Did I lose a building? Yes, because Advent Health brought it out.
Facts.
But I didn't lose my church.
Right.
He said, but what I did do is I shut it down because I'm not going to be a part of this thing of you don't have a church unless you're going live, unless you're doing. He said, no, that's not what God's agenda is for my church, for me.
For me and the people that I have the influence over. And I think we missed that part too because
excuse me.
The Bible says, how could we hear unless like a preacher? I'm messing up the scriptures, y'all know that, but get over it. How can we hear unless a preacher is preaching and things of that nature? But we want to be seen by everybody and we want to be accepted by everybody instead of focusing on the people that God called you to influence. You see what I'm saying? Because if it's 10 people, that's still to me a big responsibility, and it matters just as much if it was 10,000
Right.
people. You get what I'm saying? Like, what are you supposed to be teaching them? What are you supposed to be showing them? How can you help them, honestly, apply this word to their life?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So it makes them the best version of themselves with a better relationship with Jesus Christ. And no, we don't need no live stream to do that.
Right.
We really don't.
'Cause
We
he was
really,
like-
really do not.
He's like, God didn't say draw the men to you.
No.
He said, if I be lifted up, I'll draw all men unto me. And that's what he said. And that's the problem. You want to draw people to you instead of drawing them to God. And that's where you losing. That's where you losing your people.
Yeah, and that's where you're losing your peace.
Yeah.
Because one thing about 2025 and moving on, I'm going with peace. You see what I'm saying? Like
it's necessary.
It's way too much happening in the world. You're not going to make everybody happy. You get what I'm saying? And you got to be okay. And that's really big for me because I didn't really realize that I still was like a people pleaser. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm like, oh, I don't want them to be mad, or I don't want them to think this way, or da-da-da-da. That's another thing that this podcast and these moments are going to be. Respectfully, I don't care.
Yeah.
You can't care. You get what I'm saying? Because the ones who don't like it, there will always not be offending others that do. So you can't be moved by the opinions of man because you will always be, you get what I'm saying, like torn in a sense if you care about what they say.
I'm so happy you're there, friend.
No, it took me a while.
I'm so happy you're there.
I'm here, so I'm trying to stay there. You see what I mean? And I really think I am because, again, the ideas that I have, that I've shared, you know what I'm saying? Some I've shared, well, all my ideas I shared in her center, but some I shared with y'all. Some of the things I want to do, it requires me not to care. And he even said it at the end. That's what got me the most. He said, you have been called and qualified by God no matter where you go. And he said a lot of stuff in between. But what really got me, he was like, even when the church is going to call you a witch. Even though you're doing what God has called you to do, like you still got to go because these church people are going to find a way that, you get what I'm saying, to be like, this ain't God. No, this just not the way you believe in God.
Right.
This not the way you're trusting him to do some things. You get what I mean?
Exactly.
So I got to meet him one day, you know what I'm saying? Everybody talk about dying. And when I sit in front of him, it's a lot of stuff that I got to apologize for. But I'll be like, Jesus, my grandma is in this line. Can you please take that video? I was...
Not my grandma in this line.
I would be the only person up there like, Jesus, listen, if you could just take the video screen down because my grandma is in this line and she cannot see all of these moments.
See everything.
Everything. I thought you had to see a forgetfulness. Why are you running this back?
Why are you right?
I'll be the only person up there trying to make Jesus laugh. Hey, Jesus, listen, before you say anything, can I at least take a picture on the streets of gold? Before you send me somewhere else.
If I want to get a mansion, can I just be a vagabond on the streets
First
of gold?
of all, honestly, I want to live. This is a question I really have. It's so crazy. My
Lord.
bug be over me. Shouts out to my kid because I really probably should have had more than one because I've been stressing him out.
Funniest kid in the world.
He has a
y'all.
problem. I say, Bug, where you want to live at when you go to heaven? He was like, what? What? He was like, I'm not talking to you about this. And whatever you smoking, you need to stop. I didn't even know you did those type of drugs. Get off my phone. But I was just thinking like,
Not
if
those type of drugs.
I had to text my baby and tell him, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to stress you out.
It was just a question. I was just curious.
Thought, but all I kept thinking was like, in heaven, I don't really need no mansion. Like he could just make me a nice shack in the rainforest.
There's a rainforest.
There has to be a rainforest in heaven. Ain't heaven on earth. See, this I got to read my Bible. Ain't heaven on earth. I wish y'all could see Soap face because he's over me. And I also need y'all to know that I'm sober, okay? I don't have any drugs in my system, any alcohol in my system. This is who I am.
Nope, this is who she
But
is.
I feel like
all
God
day,
could let
every
me
day.
live in a rainforest, right? With a big, like container homes. And I want like a silverback gorilla. I want tigers. You get what I'm saying? Like I want them. I mean, we're in heaven. What do y'all eat me? You can't eat me.
So you want to be the female Noah?
Kinda, without the boat. I really do. I want to be out there walking around in leaves like I'm sure Eve was. And I want to work at the detention center in heaven.
Wait, rewind. You want to do what?
Walk around in leaves, like the clothes. Like I want leaves to be my clothes. I want to be like a fashion designer in the rainforest. In my container. That's true. They didn't cover themselves up until after they see it. So I'm in heaven. I'm butt naked me, baby. in the rainforest.
So don't entertain this. So what is wrong with
Butt
you?
naked me, baby. What is you talking about? Locks down my.
I can't believe you're helping her
What
with this foolishness.
Seriously,
This foolishness.
seriously.
I'm sorry.
If we're supposed to be heavenly minded, seriously, because we're gonna leave here.
So I got
Don't
a crazy
you think,
question.
Go ahead.
Do you think that you're going to be in this physical body when you go to heaven?
See, that's the thing. I don't know. I don't. We probably won't, because this exterior, right, goes back down to the dust, right? So it means I get a new body, which is why I tatted this one up. Shade. So if we're going to heaven to get new bodies, my new body, I could just be wide open in the rainforest. I want a silverback gorilla.
Lord.
I want a tiger, and I do want a bear.
Saying this live on
And
here.
I just think that would be. I know people are going to be like, "This girl lost her mind," but no. But you know what else I think about too? Shouts out to also my movement. If y'all don't see me singing in people's churches, I did not quit God. Calm down. I just don't want to keep singing y'all songs the same way. It's just boring to me. No shade. No shade. Sorry, Jacinta, I'm here now. All right. So I got this thing called ADHD worship, which we presented a little bit on Fifth Sunday Fellowship. Me and my baby girls got together, came out with giraffe onesies. It was amazing. It was so much fun. I know it's a lot, but the theme,
it
literally
came out so well,
giraffe
so
onesies.
It really did.
And the theme was Lion King, because I'm trying to find ways to impact the world with the gospel. Everybody in the world knows the Lion King story, right? So we lined a Hakuna Matata like it was an old Baptist hymn. You know what I'm saying? Played around with that a little bit. We had on giraffe onesies. It was just a lot of fun. But what also happened is I just got these little girls. I know it was wild, but I got these little girls so engaged that they even asked to stay on the stage so they could hear the preaching that came after. And everybody that preached, they preached about Scar, they preached about Mufasa, they preached about Simba. You see what I'm saying? And they brought it into where scriptures could apply. You see what I mean? And here I got these little baby girls that are paying attention now. I think we need to be paying them more attention. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think we should be pouring back into them the most. But it also, I felt like it just was the creativity of it all. And like I said, the ADHD worship is like, I want to worship God not based on how I feel. That's not what I'm saying. But I want to worship him out of my own authentic flow. You understand what I'm saying? So if I start singing Amazing Grace, and then I want to go into Greatest Thy Faithfulness, and then I want to end with yes, I should be allowed to do that. But I can't do that in y'all churches because y'all would think I lost my mind. But I could do that in the studio. And I could do it in the hookah lounges. You see what I'm saying? So I shouts out to that, but that's something that we're putting together. I don't know how I got there, besides the fact that I do have a little case of ADHD. And I also, I guess my thing is too, it's probably big, but I think people need to embrace their flaws. Yeah. And maybe it's not a flaw. Maybe that's just the way you were made, and that's the way you process information, and that's the way you operate. And so you need to be okay with being your authentic self, so now people know what to do with you. Like, you get, I think what happens is we go to people and we present to them the praise and worship KJ. I'll talk about myself, right? I present to you the praise and worship KJ, and I am gifted, thank the Lord, and I sing, and I can preach, and I can say these things, and da-da-da-da-da-da. But then I get off that stage, and then when I cuss you out, or I say something off the wall that you don't like.
Now you a demon.
Now I'm a demon. You get what I'm saying? And now that now you can't relate to me anymore. Right. When the truth of the nature was, I was cussing like that before worship.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Or the night before. Or do you see what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not condoning my issues or my problems, but I've learned shots out. And I always bring up my pastor. I know he's sick of me. Y'all, please pray for Jerry Owens. He needs a lot of prayer. I don't know what he did wrong to have to be assigned to me in this earth, but I'm a lot. But shouts out to Jerry and his wife, Christy, for allowing me the space to be myself, where I could talk things out. I could show them exactly who I am. And then they were able to redirect me. You get what I'm saying? Like, and then they were able, because I told them, I don't care how gifted I am. I don't care how amazing this service goes. It's too much stuff that I don't know. It's too much stuff that I don't even live by. So before you put me on your stage, I'm going to brunch. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to be outside, and I'm not going to Brush the High. I'm going to pop bottles. So Jerry was like, oh, yeah, you can't get up here right now because that's not what we're looking for. Like, you see what I'm saying? He's like, well, thank you for being honest, but that's just not what I stand for. You see what I'm saying? So, okay, cool. Let me present to you who I really am. You see what I'm saying? And then we can go into who it is I'm supposed to be.
Right.
And everybody doesn't have that type of situation. Everybody doesn't have that type of relationship with anybody where they could just be,
Let alone they pastor.
let alone they pastor. But please, like I said, shouts out, pray for Jerry. I get on his nerves, and I don't even want to tell y'all how many times he be hanging up on me. Releasing the phone call. Shouts out to my other pastor, Jarvis Wash. He's another one that it don't make it no better. He be like, "What did you say?" I be like, "Now watch, listen, let me explain." I be like, "Let me just tell you what." He be like, "It don't make no sense, fam. Goodbye." He hang up the phone. So, but again, I do know everybody doesn't have that type of space, which tied us all up. That's the whole point of this podcast. So we've got episodes where me and my friends gonna be on here talking. We're gonna talk about different topics, trending things, talk about real life stuff that happened behind closed doors. We're going to be interviewing pastors. I got this idea called Pastors Are Human Too. I really want to get behind the veil, you get what I'm saying, of some OG pastors. I ain't going to throw no names out there because y'all ain't responded to my emails and my invitations just yet. But it's just not going to be a regular kind of podcast or even vlog. I don't even know what I want to call it for real. But it's not going to be something where every Friday you tune in, you know exactly what we got going on.
Right.
No, because it is a Carla Laurel situation, okay? And that's who I want to be. That's how I want to be. And I feel good this way. And it works for me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being my friend on camera. Now you can't break up with me. My friends be wanting to break up with me, and I don't be understanding why. I just think y'all should get over it.
Oh, we should get over it.
Yeah, you don't really have no real reason to break up with me, for real.
No.
Not a real one. You got reasons, but not a real reason. Not real one.
Okay. Conversation for another day.
Conversation for another day after we sign the NDAs. Because we be so fine until we get in front of a camera.
That don't be me, though.
Facts. The one that's
Don't
really bad
be
ain't
me.
here, so I ain't gonna talk about her so she can defend herself. But the one that's real bad, I'll be like, we have been practicing this for the last 37 minutes. I turned this live on and you went all the way left. What is wrong with you?
But it's funny.
It always works.
She's great for it. She's great for the chuckles.
she's a keeper. We're gonna keep her. So, one thing I love about my friends, they keep me up on game. I don't know what's going on in the world for real. I could be very sheltered. I'm talking about even Soap was looking at me like, what? Hello? Another day. You don't know this. You don't know that. You don't know this. So, give me some topics that you think that, I don't know, people might be talking about or that might be bizarre or what you got.
So, like, did you hear about the guy Jarvis Butts and the little girl, what's her name? Nazaya?
Jarvis Butts.
Jarvis Butts is his name.
Okay,
he's in
what
like
he
his
did?
40s. So
Let
supposedly,
me see if I can pull this up. Come on,
he
talk to
was
me
on
about
TikTok. Supposedly, it's all over TikTok though.
it. Is it?
He's like in his 40s and he was fooling around with this little 11-year-old girl who was his baby mama's niece.
Hey.
Yeah. No,
This is
we're here. We're
but
going
this
there.
is out in the public.
It's
so
out.
Okay.
You can look it up.
Hold
If you
on.
go to TikTok and you look up either Nazaya Harris or Jarvis Butts, you're gonna see it. It's coming up everywhere.
He was sleeping.
And they have not
His name came up.
told you.
He was a Detroit man charged over missing 13-year-old Nazaya Harris appears in court. He was sleeping with her?
He was sleeping with her. They have not found her body yet, but supposedly he killed her to cover up the fact that he got her pregnant. So when
I said that this is heavy.
it is, but it's out there. Like, and my thing is the reason why I said it because people always thought I was crazy for how I kept my kids. How I kept my kids. They didn't go to sleepovers. I didn't have friends come to my house. I didn't do those type of things with my kids. And people thought, oh, you're too overprotective. You hold your kids too tight. I held my kids like that because this was somebody who was brought into the house as an uncle figure.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? He was her aunt's. He was dating her aunt.
That's Nazaya's auntie, baby daddy.
Yes, and he calls her. He was calling her his niece. But yet and still, when everybody's eyes was closed, you meeting this girl down in the basement. You're telling her to go clean herself up.
How do you know they was in the basement?
Because the text messages, the cops got all the text messages. They found her phone. They haven't found her, but they found her phone. Mm-hmm. They got all the text messages where they would text him back and forth, and then he would say, make sure you delete this when we get off. Make sure, it's a whole lot. KJ, I swear, it's like days of listening.
This why I be in my own world.
Yep, it's
That
crazy.
is so sad. I'm really sorry to hear that.
And it's so sad. It's such a sad situation because it's not just him and what he did. I blame the community around her.
Well, absolutely.
I blame the aunt. Because you knew, because they asked her. She got on the stand. They asked her, well, did you know about his history? Did you know he had been to jail? Because he had been to jail before for 10 years.
The Jarvis guy had been to jail for doing what?
For fooling with little kids.
I know you lying.
And he had spent 10 years in jail already. So the aunt, they asked the aunt, did you know about his history? She said, yeah. But what's wrong with giving somebody a second chance? Not with kids in my house. You're smoking all kinds of dope if you think I'm going to do that.
Oh, wow.
And not only that, but not even with somebody else's kid.
Child.
You didn't care about your kids enough, but you ain't care about somebody else's child.
But that's her niece.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I look at my nieces and nephews like they my
kids.
Like they
mine.
So there's no way.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Next story, that's heavy. We need to pray for that family, though, for real, because that's just trauma. And I think that's, but that's just what kills me about real news and real life stuff. Because, we talking about Mr. Jarvis and just Naziah, but the whole family suffers.
Whole family
you get what I'm saying? Like, the whole family.
The grandmother, the mother's not in her life. The mother was never in her life. So the grandmother adopted her.
Ooh. And you adopted her for this to happen?
And then what bothers me is when they said that she went missing, they couldn't find her. Her grandmother and her aunt said, okay, we'll call the cops tomorrow. That's why I say it's not just on this man.
Facts.
What he did was wrong, but who was protecting her?
Right.
Who was protecting this child? Who was looking out for her? When she's sneaking out in the basement. Text messages, she's telling him, go upstairs and give my auntie some so you can come down to the basement and give me some.
Oh, that's what the baby
said? Because I'm tired of her following you around the house.
Bye, Naziah. No, I don't want to say bye. That's the wrong thing to say.
But this was where he had her. This is where he had her mind. He did this.
I'm scared to ask you about some other stories. You got some other stories?
No, okay, we'll lighten it up.
Yeah, because that is heavy for me. I can't. I'm thinking about Naziah. I'm thinking about the auntie. I'm thinking about all these people that need to get beat up.
Right. That part.
That part. That's what goes to my mind. That's why I be like, bro.
But he was supposed to show up in court today. Couldn't show up because he got beat up. They got him in jail. They got him. Couldn't show up. He couldn't even come. So I was just like, and me, I'm vengeance is mine, said the love. I know that scripture. I know it well. But at the end of the day, sometimes you got to get got here. Sometimes I can't wait for God to get you. You can't put that out here. Sometimes I got to get you.
This is why she ain't called to preach.
No.
You see that? This is why.
I tell the truth.
This is why.
I tell what everybody else is thinking. I say what everybody else is thinking.
Jesus did flip tables. He did.
So
I get your point because there's still a human response to
the fact
tragedy.
The fact that everybody is covering it up and they will not say where this baby's body is ridiculous.
That is sad. Well, I just hope the baby can rest in peace. You see what I'm saying? Like, I do believe in that. So, do you got another story?
You saw Princess Leia. Her name is Princess Leia on TikTok.
Okay, you be on TikTok, okay?
I don't do Instagram and Facebook like that. It'd be too much. I like TikTok because I can just. But this girl, she moved her boyfriend in. They're in a relationship.
Okay,
they sharing locations like we share locations.
Okay, I have to for protection. I need supervision at all times. But go ahead.
But he goes on a date with a whole nother chick, and I don't know if he forgot or whether he just didn't care that his girlfriend has his location.
Boyfriend
is on a date.
Sharing. Location. He knows he's sharing the location with her.
So she walks in. She's walking in on live, going, "Oh, he think he funny? He forgot I got his location." She sits down to the table, takes his drink, and was like, "This yours?" And he's like, "Yeah." She starts drinking his drink and says, "Well, who are you?" And this man looks at the other girl and tells her, "I've never seen this woman before a day in my life."
Okay, pause. Okay, pause. Okay, Princess got a boyfriend. Princess named Tim. Princess finds Tim location and be like, "Oh, look like Tim out on a date." Now, how does she just look at the location or he was on a date?
Because he was at a restaurant.
Okay. So she goes, "I'm going to pull up on Tim." Okay. She pulls up on Tim. Tim is sitting there with...
Side by side. Not even across.
Oh,
side by side. They're sitting right next to each other.
Tim is sitting there with Amanda. Princess sits down with Tim and Amanda, and Princess takes Tim's drink. Tim then looks at Amanda and says, I don't know who she is.
I've never seen this one before a day in my life.
Ha! Will
So,
Smith at the table.
she
Oh,
said,
somebody about to get this
no,
one.
her face was so funny. She
And
said,
she was on
me?
live.
You don't know me? Yeah, the whole thing's on live. You don't know me? And he says, yeah, I don't know you. She said, okay. She said, well, how long have y'all been dating? The girl says, oh, about a month. She said, who do you live with? You live by yourself? She said, yeah. She said, okay, well, now you have a new guest. She said, because I'm going to go home and pack up his 2 bags, because that's all he got. And he can come stay with you, because he can't come back to my house.
Because he don't know who I am.
Because he don't know who I am. Yeah.
How do you say you don't know who I am? That's another topic for another day. They don't want to have this conversation,
Right.
bro. You do not want to have this conversation, because I just feel like at this big age, what we lying for? You see what I'm saying? Like, why would you sit here in my face? And see, I don't think, and I don't want to just say men, because women cheat too.
Yes.
Let's stop it with the games. Okay.
I think women are better at it.
We're absolutely better at it. We're absolutely better at it.
I think women are better at it.
We're absolutely better at it, because
Excuse
here's
me.
the thing, like, men have a tendency, and I don't want to go into it, y'all, you want to introduce us to a game that we play better than y'all.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so
Right.
don't put me in a position to kill you, because I'm going to kill you, okay? I'm not Michelle Obama. I'm not going to go, hi, I'm going to hell, Hades. You understand what I'm saying? Because, no, tell the truth. Because now my feelings is hurt.
Right.
This is embarrassing.
Right.
I was, in a sense, civilized when I came in here. When all you had to tell me or honestly say, babe, I really am, I'm trying. Like, I've tried it. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking to old girl, I apologize for being disrespectful. I met somebody. Okay, she got to get my attention. Like, let's have a conversation. But you going to sit here and deny me in front of her? Got it, fam. Now you need somewhere to live.
My thing at the end of the day with all that cheating stuff is like, you're taking my choice away.
You are definitely taking my choice away.
That's my biggest thing with cheating. Don't take, because if you come to me and say, hey, I'm not happy. Okay, let's figure this out. If we can't figure it out, whatever it is, you never know. I may say some women are dumb enough to stay and just stay and be like, okay, do what you're doing. We'll just have an open relationship.
And to be honest, I don't want to say it's dumb. I just think some people have different, I don't want to call
different
it dumb.
views.
Let me tell you, because truth be told,
I'll take that back.
Your mamas and your grandmamas and your aunties, they didn't stick with your daddies and granddaddies and uncles because they was faithful. Stop the foolery.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? They stayed there because they had a different understanding of what they were trying to build and what they were trying to do. They were trying to keep their homes together. You know what I'm saying? Because truth be told, I am the product, and my mama and them, they get some of them. I am the product of strong African American women. Okay, they told me don't have more babies than you can take care of on your own. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't ever get it twisted. If it ain't going the way you want to go, leave him and come home. Like, these are things that were given to. Don't ever let your right hand know what your left hand doing. I learned these things from women, so I knew at a young age. Oh, this little marriage situation ain't what it is. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna confess right here. My mama she's going to lose it. Love you, Bonnie. We were in Cleveland, Ohio, for real. Baskin Robbins was an ice cream place up north,
I know
right?
it well.
So after church, we would go up the hill basically, and we'll get ice cream. And I guess, I don't know if she was talking to me or we had a home, like an auntie with us, whatever. I do remember my mama saying this though. My mama said, I am not about to uproot my home with my children just because of the different flavors of the month.
Whoa.
Okay? My mama said that. I may have been. Now, see, I also am a very nosy child. I've heard conversations I ain't had no business listening to. But my mama was my best friend. You see what I'm saying? And I always wanted to kind of like protect my mama and be there. So I was always, but I listened to everything she said. I really did. I know she said, you ain't listen to everything. Cat didn't graduate college, but fast forward. But I knew then, it's something else to this marriage thing.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? And it definitely is not just because this man is faithful. No shade to my daddy.
Right.
I ain't never caught him in nothing. You get what I'm saying? Who knows? I don't know. I don't want to get in there because I can see my family now. I know you lying, trying to say your daddy. No. I'm not saying that. I just personally don't even believe men are faithful. That's just me.
And
you get what I'm saying?
And I agree with that.
Yeah.
I do. And that's my personal experience. Though.
Yes, mine too.
It's no dig to, because there are some men out there who, I feel like every person, I'm not going to just say man, but every person is capable of being committed if they want to.
If they want to.
Unfortunately, my experiences, men cheat.
Facts.
Men cheat, and they take advantage of a situation. you know, and it's because, oh, there's 5 men to every woman. That don't mean you got to have all 5 of these women.
Facts. And just because I say you're cheating doesn't mean that I say that you're sleeping with all of them either.
Right.
I think people have to be very honest. A lot of people are jealous of just people's relationships, and they really are just best friends. But because I feel like you are emotionally involved with her more than you are with me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now I feel
Now
like
you're
there's a problem.
You're outside
now you're
of us.
You're outside of us. And I think people just not ready to have, honestly, that level of conversation, because if cheating is a thing here, then don't threaten me with a good time. You understand what I'm saying? Because not being funny, I know I'm gonna take it too far.
Right. And
then
I'm only better at it than you. I'm being honest. I'm gonna be better at it than you. Guess what? I'm gonna know all of your business, and you're not gonna know anything that I've done.
None.
You're not gonna know my moves.
And it's gonna be sad.
And I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna laugh at you because you're gonna be dumb enough to get caught while I'm sitting here doing the same thing you're doing and not getting caught.
And here's the harsh reality
that's
too.
Just
like,
the way it is.
The male ego just can't even take it.
Nope.
You understand what I'm saying?
They can dish it, but they can't take it.
You can dish it, but you can't take it. So a lot of the restraint I feel like women do have is just because I love you.
Yeah.
Because I respect you and I don't want to kill you like I know I could. You see what I'm saying? But if you want to play like that, then this about to be a real uncomfortable situation for you.
For you.
Not me.
For you. Right. That's it for you. Right.
That's the level of conversation we're going to have in this podcast, vlogging, safe space, safe place, situations, church baby vibes with ADHD worship. And I'm trying to plug. I'm trying to plug everything in church
one
baby
sentence.
vibes at ADHD worship. Safe space, safe place for the one parent tribe when I teach you how to respect your baby father. How about that? You got to get that one right there. Look at that face. Look at that face. Last but not least, did you see the BAM? Did you see the BAM?
Now, me and you've had this conversation.
Did you see the BAM get mad at Scrap?
I did. And I agreed.
What did you agree with?
We've had this conversation, Carla.
This is why I love my friendships. People don't see this. Because
we
don't agree.
We
on
really
a
don't.
lot of things.
We don't agree on this baby mama title. That's let's just put it out there.
Right.
We don't agree on this baby.
And tell us why. Tell us why we don't agree on the baby mama title.
I hate the term
baby
mama.
Tell me why.
Yes, I am the mother. Yes, those are my babies, because that's what you say all the time.
Okay.
But what when it's said, especially coming from dudes when you're no longer together, it's to diminish your role, or to me, that's the way I look at it, to diminish who I am. No, I'm not your baby mom, especially if I've married you and I've built a home, I've created a home, not just for you, but for these kids. And if it didn't work out, I'm still not, I'm the mother of your children. I can be your ex-wife, but I am not your baby mama. I'm not somebody you just picked up, slept with, and now all of a sudden I got a baby. No, I did.
So I think the problem is
my work that I put into what we had. It deserves more respect than being called a baby mama, and that's where I agree with what she said.
I get what you're saying, but here's the harsh reality: who cares about your work? Your work failed.
You're not his wife.
The house didn't work. You understand? And this is where my mind goes. So you did all this work, right, to get all this respect. You did all this thing for this house to do this, that, and the third, just for him to have still left you as if you were a person that he just picked up and had a baby with. So I think the problem is, again, the baby mama perception, right? Because when I heard Fantasia, BABYMA, this goes out to all my baby mamas. She literally was saying like, okay, baby girl, you pick yourself up, you go to school, you go to work, you do what you need to do, because why? That is your baby and you are the mama. So I think, to your point, that's why I like talking about this, it's how people define baby mama. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I don't feel like that is a diminishing thing at all.
Okay, my thing is, I feel like if you used to be like, oh, you a baby mama, I wouldn't take it, and I'm being honest, this is just me. I'm not going to take it the same way from you that I would take it from my children's father.
Oh, okay.
If I'm being honest.
I get what you're saying.
You know, I'm not going to, because in your role, you don't get to call me a baby mama. Now my friends can say, "Oh, you a baby." I can hear you say that all day long.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with what you're saying.
I get what you're saying.
But him as somebody that I married and built a home with and built a family with, and
You just feel like he don't get
and
to.
you mucked it up.
Yeah,
I
get
didn't
what
mess
you're
it up.
saying.
You mucked it up.
I get what
You
you're
don't
saying.
get to diminish my role.
Everybody different. My baby, I call my baby daddy. He calls me baby mama. He actually calls me baby mama number 1. And I wear it with pride. Because I was the first one to get knocked up with one of your children. Do you understand what I'm saying? I was the first one. And I wear it as a badge of
created the
honor.
title.
I created the title, so everybody need to come in here and act accordingly. Like, that's, and no shade to the other baby mamas. I'm only
I
cool.
get you.
It's 3 of us. I'm only cool with the second one. I don't know the third one. Hey, whoever you are.
I mean,
but what I'm saying
well,
is,
he got 2 more. So the one after me can call herself baby mama number 1.
but
I'm not his baby mama.
But I get what you're saying, and I just feel like there's a conversation to have, because as much as I love the Fantasia one, there's another, what was that rap song by Triple Six, baby mama. You know what I'm saying? Like it was degrading.
It's
you
a
get
different. That's what I'm saying.
It was
a difference in
perspective.
how
but
it's been
also,
given. That's why I say
but I'm
that.
telling, when he left me, I told him, hey, bruh, you can leave me all day, but I am your baby mama. You are gonna take care of me and this baby and and the mama. Do you understand what I'm saying? Don't ask me where that money went to, fam. I gotta pay rent, lights, gas, and haircuts, and this, that, and the third. And yes, I did go out for the weekend, and I wasn't on your dime. You couldn't afford the way I kick it. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like me and and it's much turmoil, Jesus the Christ, that me and my baby daddy went through. I mean, we was to the point where the police had to meet us in the parking lot to take my baby out of one car into his car, because that's just how crazy I was beating people. Oh, where y'all going? Y'all finna play house with my baby?
Play house?
You finna shack with mine? No, have your own baby with him. You see what I'm saying? I'm baby mama number 1. Like, I will introduce I'm baby mama number 1. Let me tell you how this work here.
Right.
Let me tell you what goes on here. Right. Fall in the fold. But again, that's just different mindsets, perceptions, you know what I'm saying, things of that nature. And again, we was young. We didn't know what we was doing. Like, after a while, when we start thinking about that stuff too, a lot of stuff my baby daddy did, and even stuff I did to him, like, bro, I don't think we understood the magnitude of the level of shenanigans that we was doing. Me and Tim ain't had no business. Thank God for Bug. I'm glad he's here. Don't ever get it twisted. Right. Oh, man, me and that man ain't had no business having no kid. We didn't have no business having no child. You understand? But we made it, and that baby is alive. He's in high school. You know what I'm saying? Graduated high school, now he's in college. So it's just kind of like, I still call him and aggravate him to this day. Baby, it's 19. I'm like, baby daddy, let me hold something. He's like, I don't have to pay you nothing no more. Hey, bro, let me hold 150.
I do that with my kid's dad.
I'm still that baby's mama. Hey. And I need my eyebrows done.
Hey.
He be so mad.
Hey, because now I got a grandbaby too. Hey, your granddaughter needs.
Now we're not talking about that.
Oh, no. I'm going there.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm going there.
I get what you're saying.
I'm going there.
The grandbaby.
The grandbaby needs.
Tim will probably turn his phone off. Because when Bug comes, I'm like, oh, baby daddy, this is a shebang we got to put on, honey.
Barry does it to me. He goes, what?
Yeah,
who needs what? Your granddaughter. She has a father. Call her. I'm calling you, sir. I'm calling you. Daddy. Hey, about this. How about this? I'm calling everybody, but you the first one on the list since you created the child that created the other child. So how about you're number 1 on my list to call?
Listen, we're going to talk about all type of things all the time. Whether y'all like it or agree with it or not, we're going to have a funky good time. Thank you so much. Shouts out to Soap Studios, LLC, where we have the most amazing time. It's very freeing here. I'm telling y'all that right now. I hope you are authentically yourself before y'all book, okay? And we got some other things coming. We got some records coming. We got some photo shoots coming. I don't want to tell you, we got shows coming. So just pray for us. Let's end out real churchy. I want you to pray our strength. Okay, as you govern yourselves accordingly with all of the things that we've talked about. Pray for us as we pray for you, as we do all the things that God has called us to do. Is that all right? We love you. Thank you so much for everything.
I'm surprised you didn't say we love you with the love of the Lord.
I was going to say, we love you with the love of the Lord. Yes, we do. Thank y'all. Thank you so much.
Peace.